All right, so to continue, our directions are still to write an equation for the ellipse from our information. So this time we're given our vertices as coordinates and then our co-vertices. So if you're new at this, I would always draw the picture. So if we have something to look at, it just makes things so much easier to figure out. So I'm just going to start by making a graph. So it looks like I'm going to have to go down to at least -6 for the y's and up to at least +4 for the y's. So I'm going to make this fairly big here. And then our x's, we're going to have to go from -5 to 1. So that should be good enough for our graph. Okay, so again, if we just plot it, so we are going left 2, down 6. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm going to put V for vertice. And then we're going to go left 2, up 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And again, I'm just going to put V for vertice. And this one we are going left 5, down 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, down 1. And that's a co-vertice, so I'm going to put co-V for co-vertice. And then right 1, down 1. And again, we're going to have a co-vertice for that. So it's just a good idea as we make our points that we label them so that we can remember what they are. So looking at that, we know that it's going to be vertical because it's longer vertically. And if I just connect the vertices and the co-vertices together right away, that should make it really easy to find our center. Okay. So the center is going to be -2, -1. And then for the A, we can just count. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we know A is 5. And B, we can again count. So 1, 2, 3. So B is 3. And we know that it's vertical, so we have enough information to write our equation. So we will have x minus h. So since we're subtracting a negative, it becomes a positive. So x plus 2 squared over a number plus, and we'll have y plus 1 squared over a number equals 1. Okay. Now again, since it's vertical, that means that the larger number goes underneath y. So we're going to take our a and square it, so 25, and we're going to write that underneath the y term. So that means our b term goes underneath x, so 3 squared is 9. And this would be our final answer for the equation. Okay. All right, next problem, same thing. So again, I would just start with a graph, or at the very least, even a rough sketch should help. Okay, so it looks like 5s are going to have to be fairly large, and then x's, since it's only to 2, we don't need to worry about going too far on those. So something like that. So it's giving us our center point, so I'm just going to mark that. So here's our center. One vertex is at 0, 5, so we're going to go up 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So since we're going to a vertex, so I'm going to label that V. We know that A has to be 5. And if we want, we can just complete our ellipse. So if we go 5 up, that means that we have to go 5 down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then co-vertex is at 2, 0. So here's 2, 0. And co-vertice. So that means that our B value is going to have to be 2. And just to complete our ellipse, we would have to go to the other direction because it's symmetrical. And again, co-vertice. And we just want to connect it into the best oval that we can make. And so again, we have our center, we have A and B, and we know the direction is going to be vertical since it's longer vertically. So again, we have enough information to start writing our equation. So since h and k are 0, that just means that I'm going to have x squared over a number plus y squared over a number equals 1. And then our larger number goes underneath y since it's vertical. So 5 squared is 25. And then 2 squared is 4. So this would be our final answer for that problem. All right, one more like this. Okay, so this time we are given the center, the foci, and the co-vertex. So again, I would start by graphing. Okay. So center is 0, 0. And let's see here. Now I'm going to have to go up and down 8, but I don't have enough room. So I'm going to make my y's a scale of 2 in our graph. So this will be 2, 4, 6, 8. And then 2, 4, 6, 8. So, and again, our center is 0, 0. So, and if we are going to a co-vertice, so again, I should label these as I make them. So co-vertice, that means that our B value has to be 8. So again, I did a scale of 2 this direction, so I'm going to just remind myself by putting our B value there. And then we're given a foci, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to put F for foci, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we do need to be careful because the focus points, the foci, are inside of the ellipse. So our ellipse is going to go around and encompass those. So we don't want to connect our ellipse to these. So if we know the focus point, that means that we can identify what our C value is. So we know that C is going to be 5. So looking at this, we know that the center is 0, 0. So again, that's H and K. We have our B value, but we don't have our A value. So this time, to find it, we're using that C squared relationship. So we know that C squared equals A squared minus B squared. So C squared would be 5 squared, so 25. We're trying to find A squared. And then B squared, so that would be 64. So now we're just going to solve this. So I'm going to add 64 to both sides. So that is going to give us 89 equals A squared. And then if we wanted to finish graphing, we would take the square root and find the approximation. But for the equation, we need A squared. So this is good enough to know right here. And we also know that it's going to be vertical because our foci, it's going to be horizontal because our foci are horizontal from each other. So again, it's going to be longer this way. Okay? And that should make sense to us because our A squared is also bigger than our B squared term. And again, that's going to be this direction. Okay? So now we should have enough information to write our equation. So again, since our center is at 0, 0, we're going to have x squared over a number plus y squared over a number equals 1. Okay? So and again, it's horizontal this time, so I'm just going to write that up here, horizontal. So our a squared term goes underneath x, which we found was 89. And then our b squared term is going to go under y squared. So 8 squared is 64. And then this is going to give us our equation. So that is going to be our final answer for this problem.